And welcome to Martinsville Speedway in the middle of nowhere in Virginia as we get set to go for round 7 of the iRacing Stock Car Association Season 4 for the Smith Transport 250 here at Martinsville. 250 laps. The 250 also stands for the amount of cautions that we will see by the end of tonight. Jacob Pitts, Nolan Rempel here in the broadcast booth with the call for tonight's race here at Martinsville. And over-under 20 cautions?
Well, it'll certainly be around there. I mean, it was, 26 cautions the last time we came here with just 20 drivers. We got 23 today, so that is definitely going to mean it'll be a very interesting race today. Should note, we are expecting a very special guest in today's broadcast as well. A visit from the national flag of the Banana Republic. We're expecting him to make an appearance at the track. Oh, I'd say about 20 times or so.
Yeah, I hope the pace car driver has a couple of 5-hour energies in that car. He's going to need to stay awake because he's going to be logging a lot of laps here tonight at Martinsville, at least based off of what we've seen in the past. So right now, a little under 3 minutes left in qualifying. These guys still out there logging laps, trying to get as fast as they can here before we get set to rack them up, send them off into turn 1, and pray they make it out the other side. I'll be honest, this week has been hectic. I don't remember who won last week. I don't really remember where we were even at last week. I think Texas.
Was Texas.
Help me out here, Nolan. Who won last week?
I will look that up for you right about now.
Okay, so nobody knows. Cool. Tyler
Bluff, apparently.
We're being told it was Tyler Bluff, and that sounds right. So we'll roll with it. So, fuel window is 150-ish laps. These guys have 4 sets of tires. We've been told that to expect to see them pit every 70, 80 laps or so for tires. It really won't become a fuel mileage race. And with the amount of cautions that we're expecting, I would imagine that we're going to see guys bank on some cautions before they come onto pit road.
I think that is definitely a very safe assumption for a lot of these drivers. I mean, everybody knows that Martinsville is one of those tracks where you go in here expecting a lot of yellows. And in a lot of cases, drivers prep their strategies around that very idea. I have yet to see one race run with these Cup cars that has not resulted in at least a dozen cautions. So I would be expecting no different that these drivers would be banking on some cautions to help them out with their pit strategies here today.
Well, I mean, in practice, we did have at least one driver that exceeded 30 incidents, another that was close to it. I think he had 28 by the end of the session. Oh, yeah. So we may have some wrecking balls out on the racetrack here. Just have to wait and see and point and make fun of them as needed as we run through tonight. So, in the final minute, flying right now, and newcomer Christopher Hill. And by newcomer, I mean he was added into the league 15 minutes ago. He is on the top of the board. Curtis Sawyer in second, who when I saw his name on the roster for tonight, I said, who? Apparently he's raced here before. It must have been a while, though. He's second right now. Justin Levine, he's third. Larry Reed, I think he's a newcomer. He's in fourth. And then Brian Johnson is in fifth. So a lot of new, fresh faces up at the front, but that's got to be terrifying for the guys that have been here and run every race, knowing that there's fresh meat up at the front, and they could be causing a lot of carnage.
It'll be certainly very interesting. Now, you got to remember as well, this could be a blessing in disguise for the newcomer, because he could actually be finding himself ahead of all the carnage that might be happening behind as these more experienced drivers try to get around him.
Just have to wait and see. Tanner Love just topped up into the top 3. His first lap in a little bit. He's been having connections, I think. And with that, that's the end of qualifying. Christopher Hill, he will be on top of the hill. He'll be on the front row for tonight's race here at Martinsville. Unfortunately, this race is not under the lights. It's under the daytime sky. And now it is about time, to get things underway. So let's head over now for the national anthem before we get it going here for Martinsville.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's light? stars gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And now, for the most famous words in motorsports. Drivers, start your engine!
All right, here, Nolan, it's time to run through our starting grid here from Martinsville. Let's take it away.
Well, starting on pole position today, you got the newcomer, Christopher Hill. Curtis Sawyer, driver we don't see all too often, is starting in row number 1. Tanner Love, Justin Levine, 3rd and 4th. Larry Reed rounding out the top 5. Brian Johnson in 6th position. Boyd Hogan, Mike Knight, 7th and 8th. And it's going to be Mark Love and Clifton Cockrell rounding out the top 10 here.
In 11th, we've got Brian Hubble in the 13 car. Then the 48, Chris Johnson, starts 12th on the outside. Row number row 7, Tyler Smith in the 13th in the 22 car. John Mullen starts 14th in the 64 machine. Next row, Kenny Powell in the 24 starts 15th. Mike Eames in the 3 car. He was up in the top of the charts in practice, not so much in qualifying. Last car to set a time in the 16th spot. Then we run through the rest of the grid. 6, James Mullins. 37, Andrew Melvin. 7, Wayne Grassi. 5, David Gervais. 21, Tyler Pluff. 33, Cecil Keith. 17, James Colorally. And rounding out the field, the 90 of Ron Hollyfield.
So it looks to be 23-24 machines today. That means it is going to be, well, to put it simply, 18,000 horsepower getting set to rumble around the world's fastest paperclip.
These guys will do 2 laps of pacing before we get ready to rock and roll. Here from this tiny short track that is going to serve as nightmare fuel for some of these guys for the next weeks to come. And what's one thing you're watching here, Nolan, before we get things going? One thing that you're expecting is these guys send it off into turn 1, and we hope for the best.
Well, I would not be surprised if we saw some of those front ends sliding out on entry and those back ends kicking a little bit loose out on the exits. Very common to see that even in the real world. Would expect absolutely no different in the early stages today. Pace car pulls it down to pit row. We're stacked up. We're doubled up. We're ready to rumble at Martinsville. In the hands of Christopher Hill as he brings him onto the front straightaway on the loud pedal. He gets whirled away for 250 laps.
Already going 3 wide in the back there. Tyler Smith's going to send it up the bottom with the trump car in the middle of Brian Hubble. Then on the way outside, the 48 of Chris Johnson. Already almost some contact as they make it off of turn 2. Christopher Hill all by his lonesome, and my goodness, we're going to make it a lap without a caution. How about that?
First green flag lap completed cleanly. Christopher Hill still running out in the leads. Single file for a good portion of the field. The first side-by-side battle right now between Clifton Cockrell and Mike Knight for the final spot inside the top 10, 10th and 9th position. Going at it in the 68 and the number 16 machines.
Car around off of turn 4. Kenny Powell got into him. It's the 13, Brian Hubble. He's in the wall. Caution is going to come out. Brian Hubble got run into from behind by Kenny Powell, it looked like. Let's take a look here. Coming off of turn number 4. Powell sent it in on the bottom. And Powell just, a little bit of net code is what got the 13 around. And the 3 of Mike Eames ran into the back of him. He then spun it into the outside wall. Another car further back hit the inside wall on the brakes. Looks like the 7 of Wayne Grossi. He got on the brakes to avoid the 5 of David Gervais and hit the inside wall. Everybody else was able to make it through without incident. But the 13 of Brian Hubble, early trouble for him, and it's really netcode because there was a decent bit of room between the 24 and the 13 when the 13 went around there.
A lot of damage on that 13 machine of Brian Hubble. Now, the good news for Hubble, though, is that he does not need to really worry about that damage too much because, well, unlike the tracks like we saw at Texas, you can actually deal with quite a bit of front-end damage before you really start to feel that anything's off pace. This really is just a track where all you have to worry about is making sure you're clean and steady. Top speed is definitely not what you need to worry about here. So as long as that car is feeling fine in the steering column and in the suspension, he should be fine to continue here. You can deal with quite a bit of damage on that front and even the rear end before you really start to drop back. Like, I even saw one driver once make it around here for about 70 laps in, well, no better way to say it is a knockoff version of a modified car before he finally lost the lead.
5 cars come on pit road during this caution flag. Tyler Pluff, Mike Eames, David Gervais, Brian Hubble, Wayne Grossi. And let's see. Hubble's going to be a lap down. Grossi is going to sneak off pit road in time, as well as everybody else. But Brian Hubble still handicapped in his pit box. The back end caved in on that Trump machine. And not the way he wanted to start this race, no doubt about it.
Not just the rear end caved in, the front end as well. Still a lot of damage on the grill of the number 13 machine. That's what they're working on right now in that pit box, is to buff out that front end a little bit. The rear end, you don't have to worry about quite so much. I mean, everybody knows that the rear end really doesn't play a big part in these cars at all, or especially on the short tracks. It's the front end, for the most part, that you really have to worry about.
He just rolled it off pit road, and the right front of that car still looks beat to hell, but we'll see what happens. And we are now 1 lap away from green. We made it all but two laps till the first caution.
Well, not even. We made it down to lap 1.
Yeah, well, let's see how far we can make it this time. Pace car slides it onto pit road. Christopher Hill and Curtis Sawyer are going to lead us back to the green flag. Here they come off turn 4 into the restart zone, and we're back underway. Hill does not take long. He flies out of the gate as they head for turn 1.
Terrible start for Larry Reed of the 20 machine, who ended up checking up the entire inside row. Very good on those drivers not to run him over on the restart. So far, though, very much clean and green. Reed still do battle with the 4 car, Brian Johnson.
Off turn 4, they're able to complete a lap. Nobody has died, thank goodness. Back to turn 1. Here's, let's see if I can focus in on this. That's Boyd Hogan going by some guys. Brian Johnson kind of hung up on the outside line, and he just now, I think, is going to find some room on the bottom. Yes, he will. And now everybody is conga style on the inside of the racetrack off of 4.
Single file for literally the entire field right now. Nobody daring to go double file except up front, as Boyd Hogan up the inside of Larry Reed picks up the 5th position. Reed's getting awfully close there to Mark Love as Love dives it off into turn number 3.
Love is going to take the spot away, so awfully aggressive back here for the 5th, 6th position. Looks like Love may wind up giving the spot back as Reed got a great run there off of turn 4, but he's not going to be able to get there for now. 5-car breakaway at the front of the field, and then there's everybody else. Easily the longest green flag run of the day, and hopefully this isn't the last green flag run of the day. We'll just have to wait and see at this point. But right now, so far, so good.
So far, so good indeed. So, big question now is going to be, what in the world do you do with these drivers at the front? Do you try to push to get away from the field, or do you try to maybe ease off? And hope that things don't go too badly for you. They were trying to look for side-by-side up front here for the third position, but that, of course, has backed off. The only double file race really going on is actually with Kenny Powell in the number 6 machine, who I believe just made a tiny bit of contact with James Mullins off of turn number 2.
He's got some right front damage, but I don't think it's from him and Mullins. I think it's from him and the 13 making contact to bring out that first caution. So damage on the front end of Powell's machine. It might be hurting him right now just a little bit. And everybody's starting to go by him as he's fallen down to the 15th position. He started up in the top 10.
John Mullins really close to the back end, and Tyler Smith as well in the 22 machine. This is the battle for 12th, 13th, and 14th. James Mullins is trying to maybe see if he can find his way up the inside of the 64 machine as well. Y'all have to help me out here. Are the two Mullins related?
I'm not the one to ask. I don't know. I know the Johnsons are related. Brian, Craig, and Chris. Craig is not here. Chris and Brian are. I don't know about the Mullins. That is a question not for me, and we can research it, I guess, and maybe we'll have an answer by next week. I really don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Well, perhaps we could do some digging. Who knows? Might even be able to find this out. Look at James Mullins, though, trying the outside line around Tyler Smith. Don't see that every day working on Martinsville. The last time I remember seeing this sort of thing work really well was with Carl Edwards. I believe it was even Jeff Gordon down in Martinsville in 2011. It might have been the other way around. But look at that. Mullins clears Smith on turn 4 for the 12th position.
Well, Smith had an abysmal turn 1 and 2, kind of like he did this time by him. Mullins said, you know what, enough. He turned the wheel to the right, floored it up on the high side, and he was able to make it stick off of 2. A great pass there for James Mullins. Puts himself right now in the 12th spot.
Something you might see working a little more at a place like Michigan or Auto Club, where you have the multi-grooves that work. Chicagoland in Kansas, 2 other tracks that are similar to that. You almost never see that at a track like this, where you've got an almost completely flat surface. Mullins back of the inside now of Chris Johnson as well. So Mullins continuing to climb his way up the order, just worked his way to the 11th position. He's closing on Clifton Cock right now, and he's on the hunt for a top 10.
Okay, you don't see it often you don't see it often at a short track. Even less than that do you see it tried and then it worked. So James Mullins right now is about the 1% of guys that's able to send it up on the outside and then make it stick. He's able to get by Cockrell. He's now in the top.
Battle for a second. Curtis Sawyer dropping back as Tanner Love picks his way up into the 2nd position. Looks like Sawyer might have some more trouble behind him. If Justin Levine tries to dive at the inside, he will. Capitalizing on the run.
And Boyd Hogan's right there as well, but that's allowing Christopher Hill to scoot away from everybody else. He's got a 2.5 lead over 2nd place Tanner Love. Then it's Levine, then it's Hogan, then it's Sawyer. So Sawyer goes from 2nd to 5th, just about in a lap. You have to go a 2.5 back to get to Mark Love, and then Larry Reed as Chris Johnson, Clifton Cockrell battling off the corner. Johnson's going to hang on to that spot for now.
Yeah, that's the thing, is it's going to be for now. No doubt Clifton Cockrell will be hurrying to try to catch back up to the rear end and see what he can make work on that number 48 machine. James Mullins, meanwhile, is peeling away with his 10th position and starting to close in a little bit. A couple tenths a lap on Mike Knight. He's running 19.8s right now. Mike Knight's running 20 flats. So he's about a 10th of a second quicker right now. Oh, trouble! Turn 4! 2 cars around. Levine is involved. Colabelli as well. A lap car. But this was caught up by Justin Levine, losing it all on his own on the back end through turn 3. Overcorrected, went harder to the outside wall.
Looking at the replay, trying to get by Colabali, and wow, he just lost it and then overcorrected it up into the wall. Colabali did a great job of avoiding the wreck, and Justin Levine, I'm not sure. He floored it, obviously, to try and hang on to the car. And it didn't happen. A lot of front-end damage to that race car. And it is not a great day for him. He was up very solidly up in the top 5 until that happened. A couple of guys coming to pit road. Tyler Smith, John Mullins, James Mullins, Mike Eames, Wayne Grossi. And that's it. And Levine, of course. They're all on pit road right now.
Just took tires. Tyler Smith is taking tires.
Well, a lot of the guys earlier took tires. Both Mullins only took fuel here, it looks like. They were only in their boxes for about 5 seconds each.
Yeah, but is that really the wisest decision? Because you got to remember, they only have 4 sets of tires that they can run with for the whole day. So if you use one of your sets on lap 26 to 250, that leaves you with 3 sets of tires that you have to manage for over 200 laps still.
Yeah. We'll just have to wait and see.
You have to wait and see indeed. It's a very unique pit strategy, isn't it, to take the tires now? I certainly wouldn't think that would happen. I mean, we were expecting drivers to come on down for the tires maybe around lap 70 or so. Certainly not this early, though, in a run.
But with the cautions, this is going to open the door up for strategy. And we're going to see a lot of different strategies throughout the field. You know, if we keep seeing cautions every 15 laps or so, which is kind of the pace we're going at right now, we are going to see a lot of differing strategies throughout the field. And we'll have to see for which guys it works and which guys it doesn't.
Yeah, it's a difficult thing, isn't it? I mean, you really are at a crossroads, because on the one hand, it might be a good idea to stay out, save those tires for later, but on the other hand, if you're wrong, and this ends up going green for another 100 laps or so, the guys that are on 20 lap fresh tires are going to swarm you eventually on the restart, and you're just going to be a sitting duck when they come around to you. It's a really difficult position, and it's one where you really have to use the brain power. It's a really risk and reward sort of thing, isn't it?
That it is. You know, these guys are some of the best and the brightest that we can see, and we're coming down for a restart. We'll have to see what happens with the guys in the back as we're getting ready for the restart, and the inside line stacking up. Boyd Hogan all over the back bumper of the 78 of Christopher Hill, trying to get the launch, but Hill had the last word as they head through turn 1.
Through turn 1, indeed. One driver behind Mike Knight tried to stuff it in, make up a couple spots around the outside. Didn't work out so well for him. He's having to drop back now. So Chris Hill off and away. Boyd Hogan still fighting with Tanner Love. Love gets loose. Hogan gets loose up at turn number 4. Both cars out of shape as they exited the corner. Got the power down a little too early. We're still clean, though, on the restart.
Here's Boyd Hogan underneath Tanner Love. This is the battle for second as everybody heads down the backstretch into turn number 3. Hogan sends it in up the inside, trying to get by Tanner Love. Love fights back, though, on the outside, but Hogan's going to have the final say. He clears him. He'll hang on to second position going into 1.
So nothing that Tanner Love can do about that one. He's going to have to probably hope for Boyd Hogan to make a little bit of an error, because we know that once Boyd Hogan gets a spot, he does not like to give it up very easily. Certainly not without a fierce fight. So Boyd Hogan is looking set to settle into that second position for now, unless he can run down Hill for the race lead. First side-by-side battle is between James Mullins and Cecil Keith. Just behind these guys, Mullins, I believe, is one of the drivers that came down to pit, so he's all the way back down in the order to about the 15th position right now. He's just picked up one on Cecil Keith, and now diving up the inside of David Gervais.
Gervais pitted, Keith did not, and James Mullins is carving him up like a Thanksgiving turkey. It's almost November, so the joke can work. Mullins in 14th right now, closing in on Kenny Powell in the 13th spot. Then a little ways up the road, you got the 90 of Ron Hollyfield.
I mean, I'd still say that Thanksgiving joke works. I mean, heck, our Thanksgiving's already passed up here in Canada, but I mean, if it works, it works.
Well, yeah.
Kenny Powell with big front end damage still. He's still dropping rapidly down the order. Mullins just picked him off. Tyler Smith and yes, it is Tyler Smith. I am getting all sorts confused here. Tyler Smith and David Gervais. There we go. I found the name I was looking for. Do battle right now into turn 3.
They're still side by side. They got Kenny Powell right in front of him as well, and Smith is going to hang on to the spot easily over David Gervais. And things are still single file, spread out throughout. Everybody, this is the anti-Martinsville that I anticipated. These guys are being patient for the most part. I just saw Andrew Melvin just, I don't know where he was going. Maybe the hot dog stand. He was way up there.
He got a tank slapper on the entry, so he had to run wide.
Oh, wow, yeah. Looking at that again, yeah, he just got sent wide up the racetrack, and actually, he got himself loose. That's why he went all the way up the racetrack and lost a couple of spots. In the meantime, battle for the lead. Here comes Boyd Hogan underneath Christopher Hill, side by side in the straight.
Hill gaining a fantastic run down in the turn number 1, but Hogan is still there through turn number 2. Who's going to get the better run here down the backstretch? It's a dead heat between the two of them. Hogan diving up the inside. Can Christopher Hill make the outside work? Doesn't look like he'll be able to. Can he go for the crossover? He might try the crossover to even get close enough. And at turn 1, gives Hogan the smallest of nudges down in the turn 1.
Hogan Hill dug his own grave there. Last time by into turn 1, he drove it in way too deep on the outside. Couldn't get the car to the bottom. He was clear down low, but couldn't make it happen. So Hogan was just able to drive by, calm and collected on the inside. New leader Boyd Hogan looking for his 4th win on the season, and right now things are looking pretty well for him. A big gaggle of cars. Battle for 10th. James Mullins, Clifton Cockrell. Further back, Tyler Smith just drove by Ron Hollyfield.
And Mullins well clear into the top 10 at this point in time. So Cockrell's now under fire from Tyler Smith to the 22 machine, who's going to dive it up the inside now of the number 16 Microsoft machine. Ron Hollifield, like you said, just picked off Andrew Melvin. And now Hollifield trying to run down that 16 car and see if he can pick him off as well. Looks like he might be able to get it in here as Hollifield's trying to stuff it into the bottom line.
Cockrell apparently struggling on these older tires. Tyler Smith and James Mullins, who just passed him, they're on the new tires. Or, well, at least Smith is. I don't believe Mullins is on new tires, though. I think he only pitted for fuel. It's tough to change only right side tires in 5 seconds. So I believe Mullins only took fuel when he came onto pit road. But right now he's back into the top 10. I can't believe
Hollifield's spinning
Spinner Hollifield and coming back down. Look out, Kenny Powell. Powell got turned around off the corner. Caution. Kenny Powell got run into the back of coming off of turn 4 by David Gervais. Never mind.
No,
Kenny
just lost it on his own.
Yep, he hit the curb, and that's what spun him around. So Kenny just cranked it too far to the left, and when you touch the curbs here, you're bound to get sideways, and that's exactly what happened to him. Just couldn't hang on to it, and then augured into the inside wall.
Can we talk about the fantastic job that this field did to not get into Ron Hollifield, especially Tyler Bluff, last week's winner, who, instead of following everybody on the inside line, he was going in a bit wider, so he instead juked to the outside line to get around that way instead of the 21. That could have been a lot worse, and thank goodness it wasn't.
Smart man, and that's the reason that he's still alive right now. So third caution of the day. We're closing in on 50 laps complete. More guys coming to pit road. Brian Johnson's one of them. Clifton Cockrell. Brian Hubble's on pit road again. Chris Johnson. Justin Levine. John Mullins again. Kenny Powell. James Mullins again. Grassi is on pit road as well as Cecil Keith. He's now down and away. So we have about 10 cars here that have yet to pit. Hogan, Hill, Love, Sawyer, Love, Reed, Knight, Melvin, and then Hollifield. Everybody else has come on the pit road at least once.
Nope, you're right. I thought it was a mistake, but no, you're correct. I was looking at David Gervais on my boards. It says that he was on 40 last, but I realized, well, we're on lap 46, so that wouldn't be quite right there. So yeah, you're right. So got about, like you said, about 8-9 cars that have yet to pit that are still on this lead lap. So it's going to be very interesting, isn't it? Because even though we've seen the guys on the fresh tires work their way up, they haven't really been able to cut through the field maybe as efficiently as you might have thought, because the guys in the front, they were still turning faster lap times on the older tires and still pulling away from the race lead. Mike Eames is back down to pit road again, by the way.
See what's up with him. As we're still, I think, about 2 laps away from getting back to green here at Martinsville.
Actually, I don't think Eames pitted on the first one, so my mistake on that one. Mike Eames did not pit the first time around, so he's just coming down for the first time under this yellow flag here. Might be trying to put himself at the tail of the field, because he definitely could have pitted while they came around the first time.
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be a new driver.
A reminder, next week we are at Phoenix. And, yeah, Phoenix is going to be something, I guess.
Well, it always is.
Yeah.
New driver going to be leading the back to the green flag this time by. It's been Christopher Hill for the entirety of the race so far. As for the first time, we're going to have a new driver taking them to the restart zone. Boyd Hogan in the 81 machine. Going to be in his hands as the pace car pulls down the pit road.
And if he's like Christopher Hill, he's going to gas it right about now. Here they come off turn 4. He's actually going to bunch him up, and now he's going to take off. Green flag back in the air. Boyd Hogan sets his sight for turn 1 as we are just now 49 laps complete here at Martinsville.
And it looks like Christopher Hill might have almost jumped the start there. Had to back off to avoid getting a black flag for passing the race leader before the start-finish line. So good on him there for trying to make sure that he did not get that black flag and not check it up the field too bad on the outside line. So we are clean on this. I believe this is going to be, what, the third, fourth restart now of the day?
Oh, James Mullins got real close to the back bumper of the 37 of Andrew Melvin. He thought about moving him, but decided not to. Figure I'll just get by him with speed eventually as they come off turn 4. Now he cuts to the inside and is able to make it work. And looks like he will take the spot away going into turn number 1 as it's a gaggle of cars from Clifton Cockrell on back, double wide throughout.
Mullins picking off David Gervais as well in the number 5 machine, so that puts Mullins now up into the 9th position. He got 2 in 1 lap, trying to go immediately at Mike Knight, diving it down into the braking zone. So Mullins is wasting no time, just cutting up through this field as if they're standing still on this restart.
Mullins took tires, and he's running about a half second faster than everybody else in front of him. And he just cut to the inside of Larry Reed. I mean, he's just flying through this field.
Just flying through this field indeed. Definitely making good work of those newer tires. Here he goes again on Mark Love. He's now well into the drivers that did pit, by the way. The only driver that has not stopped since the start of this race in front of him is Tyler Smith, who's running in the 5th position right now. And Chanot doing a good job at keeping up with the guys as well. So this will be very good. Oh my word!
He just stuck it in on the bottom. Can we go on board with James Mullins, if at all possible here? Because this is incredible to watch.
Back up the inside now, Sawyer. Holy cow, he's going to be in the lead in just a couple laps here. Tanner Love's trying to make a move on Christopher Hill at the same time this is all going on, but he's going to be cut off as Mullins goes down to his inside. So Mullins now up into the 3rd position in the number 6 machine. He's going to go 2 for 2 here in the same half a lap if he can, as Christopher Hill is going to be under fire now.
And he's got him clear. So he's still running 0.2 faster than Hogan in front of him.
So an 19.891 last time by for Hogan, a 6.22 for Mullins. So he's definitely going to get him on this lap here. Will he dive down into turn 1? No, he is going to decide to wait. Guess how faster he was last time by?
Cut it down
7
right
tenths.
Yep, there he goes.
7 tenths faster than Hogan on the last lap.
Into turn 3, he did what he's done before, cut it down underneath him off the corner exit, and James Mullins has ascended to the top of the board here at Martinsville on the fresh tires, and I'm sure when the next caution comes, that's going to bring everybody else that hasn't pitted to pit road, seeing how good James Mullins is on those fresh tires. Battle for 3rd, Christopher Hill and Tanner Love.
Tyler Smith waiting in the wings as well, so the 22 car diving it up the inside of Hill now. The newcomer starting to drop down the order just a little bit more. Now in the 4th position, going to be dropping down to 5th. Might be losing 5th here too, as a matter of fact, as Curtis Sawyer is also waiting in the wings in that number 10 machine. And the longer these cars are side by side, the sooner that 10 car continues to close in the gap.
Still fighting for that 4th spot between Smith and Hill. Hill on older tires. Smith has pitted. And Smith
Martin's
will
out.
get the spot. Caution for who? It's
Ron
Ron Holyfield again, front stretch. He hit the inside wall here. Let's take a look. I think he might have just spun it on his own again.
Yeah, he did.
Looking at the replay, survey says, yep, just lost it, corner exit. and then head on into the inside wall under braking. Nobody else hit him. Mike Eames got close, though. And the now 4th caution of the day. Here at Martinsville, pits are open, and here comes nobody to pit road because pit road is closed.
Yeah,
But
you say that. There goes Christopher
Hill's
Hill.
coming anyway. And here comes the 20, and the 68, and the 37. I've got red lights on pit road. I don't understand that one, but whatever.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Lights are still red. Pit road is closed. They should not have come down.
Yeah.
They're going to be getting black flagged for that one, I think.
Well, unless iRacing's broke, lights are still red this time by. So I have a feeling that iRacing is stupid. Yep. Because the lights are still red this time by. And yeah, so iRacing is lying to us before our very eyes. Pits were open last time by. It's apparently iRacing doesn't want to let the broadcasters know that it was open.
Yeah, apparently not.
Let's go to commercial. We'll be back in a little bit here. Back here at Martinsville, we're about a lap or so away from getting back to green. Only under our 4th caution. We are closing in on a quarter of the way through the race. We're 10 laps away from lap 75 this time by. James Mullins is your leader. He's on fresh tires, and he was able to carve his way through the field, and now he's up front leading this thing.
So just over a quarter of the distance complete. This has turned into quite the race. I mean, we're already seeing pit strategy coming to fruition here, very, very early, or a lot earlier than I think either of us thought this was going to take place. Like Jacob.
Yeah, and I can't believe we've only seen 4 cautions. Considering last time we were here, we saw 26. Here comes the pace car onto pit road, and green flag's about to be back in the air. There it goes, green flag. James Mullins is gone, and off they go to turn 1.
Oh, contact behind John Mullins, checking up Cecil Keith big time, getting a bit of a tap on the entry to turn number 1. Mullins should know does have damage on the front end of that 64 machine, so that might be hampering his car just the smallest of margins. Still a big hornet's nest of machines off of turn 4.
It is a gaggle of cars, and they're all stacking up again. Brian Johnson gets hit by Mark Love. They're all able to make it through. Johnson went wide, able to get it back down to the bottom, and I don't think we're going to make it much farther without somebody putting it in the wall here. They are all over each other through turns 3 and 4.
Nobody can figure out who's supposed to be where right now in this running order. Christopher Hill got loose or checked up or something happened. He lost a lot of speed on the front straightaway. I know that much. Justin Levine tried to go around him on the outside just now. That allows Hollifield up the inside of the number 19 machine. It is just complete chaos right now in the midfield.
Probably the wildest we've seen these guys race so far. Somebody should let them know we're not even a quarter of the way through the race yet. Still a long way to go, and here comes the 78. Christopher Hill tried to go 3 wide. The 64 said nope, and now Hill will try and get by him here off of 2.
This might get tight here between a few of these drivers because I've been seeing a couple of guys slide in the front end as they try to stuff their braking points just a little bit more. And if they keep that up, they might end up pushing wide into one of the other cars. It is a very, very easy mistake to do. You just need to outbrake yourself by as much as 7 feet, and that'll be enough to send you wide into the corner.
Oh, Oh, the 30 got really wide there, and the 78 stuck it in underneath. That should have been a caution. That was close.
Should
Oh,
note
my
that the
goodness.
78 just dive bombed as well. Chris Johnson from about a car length and a half back going into turn 3.
In his first start, he's not making a ton of friends right now, but he's got his way up into the 6th position.
Showing why he deserves to be up near the front of this running order for sure right now as he's starting to close in. Brian Johnson. Oh, double!
And Curtis Sawyer around. Kept it off the wall. Caution.
That was...
He just lost it on his own.
That was
He was
4th
running
place.
in the 4th spot, and he lost the car. He has not pitted yet, so he's on the fresh tires. He just entered high. I don't know if he wheel hopped or what, but that thing just went around on him. Well,
I'll see if I can... I don't think wheel hopped. I think he just lost it on the older tires. I think that's all that happened there. You gotta remember, those tires are 73 laps old at this point. They are burnt up at this point from this racetrack.
in the pre-race, we talked about it. About 70, 80 laps is when we're going to see guys come onto pit road for tires. It won't even be for fuel, just for tires. Justin Levine is on pit road right now, and it looks like he might be one of the few takers. Levine and Sawyer are the only two that came onto pit road that last time by. As Nolan has pointed out to me, I'm an idiot. I can't do math, and we are past a quarter of the way through the race.
I have a trusted calculator up on my computer right here.
Okay, see, I thought you had it down pat, but
Oh no, trust me, I don't.
here comes nobody to pit road. They were letting by, I believe that's Hollyfield. Hollyfield getting the free pass, so he's back on the lead lap.
That is incredible that nobody's come down to pit. I mean, at this point, it's one of those, are you kidding me types of moments.
But we've only got now 3 guys that haven't pitted. Boyd Hogan, Tanner Love, who are 2nd and 3rd, and then Mark Love, who's in 7th. Those are the only 3 guys that have yet to make a pit stop. There might be some others that haven't taken tires but have pitted fuel, like Clifton Cockrell went on pit road 30 laps ago. He was only in his box for 7 seconds. Tyler Pluff, 8.3. Wayne Grossi, well, he's pitted 17 times by now. Okay, only 6 still. And Pluff's pitted twice as well. So I don't know here.
It's confusing, isn't it? I mean, you gotta question the logic of some of these drivers. A couple more guys coming down to pit road. Clifton Cockrell among them, along with Curtis Sawyer.
Well, and Cockrell, who I talked about with only having a 7-second pit stop. So I wonder if he either only took fuel or just decided to take right side tires last time and figures, oh heck with it, I'll just come down and take the other 2.
You got to keep in mind as well that it's not like these guys are just lap down cars that are coming down, a lap later because they have to. Everybody's still on the lead lap of this race. I think that's the most admirable thing as well, is we still have all 24 drivers that started this race still on the lead lap. You know who else we should probably mention? James Mullins started 17th after not setting the qualifying lap, and he's your race leader.
And Hollyfield took the waiver around, or took the free pass rather, to get back on the lead lap. So you are right. Everybody's on the lead lap now, but it wasn't like that before the caution.
Hollyfield would have been the only driver that would have been forced to wait 1 lap before coming down, and he's, of course, starting for the tail of the field as well on this restart for, well, obvious reasons.
Field doubling up, getting ready to go back to green here at Martinsville. Pace cars in. And away we go.
Feel a lot more spread out on that restart than the last one. Seems like a lot of drivers decided to have a little bit more sense on this restart and not push as hard.
Punted into turn 1 by the 22 of Tyler Smith.
As you
clobbered him.
Well, and as I say that, I suppose a couple drivers decided we're just going to race the same as we did anyway, despite not being as bunched up. So right now, Smith trying to work underneath Brian Johnson. Johnson got the run off for turn number 4 and managed to clear him down the front straightaway as well.
Comes Hill. Now underneath Chandler Love for the 3rd spot. Sends it in up the inside, and he'll take it away. And he's now knocking on the back bumper of Boyd Hogan for the 2nd spot. He way backs up the corner.
Oh,
Hogan's
look at
gonna
that.
give him the spot. And that's going to open up the door for Chandler Love. Never mind.
You know, there, Boyd Hogan actually overshot his braking point going into turn number 1. That's what happened. So it actually wasn't even Christopher Hill check it out. That was just Boyd Hogan completely misjudging the braking point.
Now, Hill's tires are not as old as Mullins, and that's why he's closing in on him right now. It's about a 2/10 difference in lap time between the two as Mike Knight is around. Caution. Oh, Bass Packery back here in the back. Cecil Keith got plowed into by Andrew Melvin. Oh, a lot of damage to the back of the 33 and the front of the 37 as Mike Knight just lost it on his own once again. This time again off the exit of turn 4. Just got wide and was loose, put the power down and lost it. And he actually got help from the 48 and Chris Johnson, who got into the back of him while it was already sideways and finished him off.
I think the driver we need to talk about, though, is Andrew Melvin, because it was just a harmless spin. The 37 car, though, well, no front grille on that machine.
Boyd Hogan, Tanner Love to pit road, Mark Love to pit road, Chris Johnson to fix the damage, the 37, the 24 also on the pit road, so everybody now has pitted at least once, officially.
This is what, caution number 7 tonight? I kind of stopped keeping track.
I think this is 7, yeah.
That random guessing does work for you at some points, it would seem. So lap number 85 now in this race, 165 still to run. The cautions, I am noticing, are growing closer and closer together. So, could we be reaching now into the old adage of cautions breed cautions?
Maybe. I hope not, but maybe. I mean...
Still a lot of time to reach those, the next 20 cautions as well, keep in mind.
Yeah. But a lot of these have been single car incidents. I think this is the first one that's no doubt been a multiple car crash.
Well, actually, there was that incident early in the race. We remember with James Colabelli and Justin Levine, where Colabelli was just by the spin of Levine and nothing he could do to avoid it.
Certainly the largest multi-car crash with about 4 cars involved in this one.
Ford Mustang RS 500S pace car logging a few more laps there. We were joking before this broadcast how we were thinking that it might be a long time coming for the first ever victory to the iRacing pace car, who has been extremely dedicated to trying to get his first iRacing victory for nearly 10 years.
But by the way, Andrew Melvin, he's paid the ultimate price. The front clip on that car, still sitting on pit road. It's not on the car anymore. Mullins with a really late restart, checked up Brian Johnson and the rest of the inside line. This ought to be fun to turn 1.
Checked up the entire back half of the field. There's 3 wide back there with Tanner Love caught in the middle off of turn number 2. Not 3 wide anymore, but it was complete chaos as the back half of the field was already accelerating, coming around turn 4 to find the rest of the field hadn't even left the line yet. So it was complete chaos in the back as the leaders jumped away late on the restart. Oh, one car spinning, turn 1 into the grass. Will he save it? He does.
Saved it.
Tyler Smith that nearly lost it.
And that accordion up everybody as they head for turn 3. I can't believe he was able to hang on to the car, and I don't think half the inside line can be, you know, expect that he was going to hang on to the car, because he was pretty sideways. But right now, Christopher Hill out in front and pulling away from everybody else right now.
Away from everybody else. Not for long, though. Justin Levine up the inside of Larry Reed. Should note Larry Reed is the driver. Oh, look at, here we go. Around.
Caution. Kept it on the inside, but he may have just backed it into the inside while there as he went around. But Mark Love brings out caution number 7, 8, 20? Maybe not that many. I think this is 8. We're on lap 92 of 250. So Christopher Hill right now is your race leader. Mullins in second. Then Brian Johnson, Justin Levine, Larry Reed, your top 5. So we're closing in eventually. Eventually on that halfway point.
Yes, indeed. So looking through my notes now, I actually believe this is caution number 7. So I was up by 1. This is number 7.
Well, you can't get it right all the time.
Yeah, sometimes just got to go back and track the lap times, I suppose. Larry Reed comes down to pit road, no doubt to fix the front nose that got very much bruised when he ran over Tyler Smith down in the turn number 1. And I'm still shocked that wasn't our first yellow, and it ended up being a self-spin from Mark Love.
It certainly got close. There's no doubt about it. But at least they were able to keep it together for that one more lap until the whole field flew apart. As now we're still waiting to get back to green again next week. We're at Phoenix. Help us, please. That's going to be an adventure. And of course, I don't remember. Is the start-finish line in the correct place, as in where it used to be, or the wrong place, as in the back, as in off of what used to be turn 2?
Well, thankfully for you, it's in the correct place.
Good. Okay. I knew that the grass was long gone on the back stretch. I just couldn't remember if they had the start-finish line in the right spot or not. But now we know. And we're about a lap away from getting back to green. Field doubles them up, and we'll try this again.
You should note that this is one of 4 short tracks we're going to in the next 5 races for the season finale. Got a Phoenix course we're going to next week, which, I mean, depending on whether or not you think that's a short track, I'll leave up to you. Homestead, Miami, obviously not a short track, but then finish it off at the National Fairgrounds Speedway and Richmond. So very exciting end of the season coming up for us here. Christopher Hill leads them to green. Oh, and he loses it as he gets on the power.
That was close. They're going 3 wide back, further behind him, sticking it up the inside. That's the 81 of Boyd Hogan through turn 2. Everybody makes it through somehow, some way.
Thanks, Lapper moment as Christopher Hill tires a little bit more. Full field's according here.
That was close. Back there with Cecil Keith. Kenny Powell had to take some evasive action. Wayne Grossi just stuck it in up the bottom and caused the inside line to check up. These guys are driving like there's 10 laps to go right now, and I don't think it'll be long until we see another caution.
No, another caution is never very far away. It just takes with a little too much lead in the toe to get on the accelerator. Look at this, though. 3 wide. Cecil Keith, Tanner Love in the middle. Backing off and deciding it was not worth to go for it as Mark Love went wide and was trapped on the outside.
These guys are double wide, 3 rows deep. Cecil Keith right on the inside of Mark Love. He's sideways. He saved it. Wheeling that thing. And he's only going to lose 1 spot.
Oh, unless Love cuts back on him, getting that one back in a hurry. Tanner Love thankfully not going for it. Look at this. Love now going to the other side of the racetrack to dive bomb Mark Love into turn number 1.
Now he's right on the back bumper of the 13 machine. Saying, get out of my way. And it looks like it's going to work here going into 3.
Tanner Love's on a hunt now. The next target of his is going to be Wayne Grossi in the number 7 machine. That's going to be for the 10th position. So Tanner Love trying to crack back inside the top 10. Gets so close through the middle of 1 and 2. And can he dive him into the 3? He's going to have a go at it. Grossi on the outside. Holy cow.
He gave Gervais a shot going through turn 3, 4. Contact in the back. Cecil Keith got thrown up into the wall by somebody. He's going to lose 3 or 4 more spots coming off of turn 2.
Powell.
Is that who put him up there?
It was Kenny Powell, the one that put the outside wall.
It makes sense. It was a black car that got up into him. And Gervais now passing Tyler Smith back here. This is for the 8th spot. Make it the 9th spot. Mark Love right behind him. Tanner Love now applying the pressure to John Mullins off of 4, and he'll get it done.
Now down to the turn number 1. Love completes the pass. Will Mullins try to cut back? No, he will not. Doesn't have nearly the run he needs off of turn 2 to make that kind of a move stick.
Mark Love now underneath David Gervais. Gervais stuck up high. And now Love is going to look to the inside of Tyler Smith. And he'll make it happen.
And Tyler Smith cuts back in line before David Gervais can capitalize on the same thing. It's still a massive gaggle of cars back here. Rossi going big on the defensive on Chris Johnson. Johnson hit in turn 4 as well.
Stacking them up on the bottom. That could have been close. Brian Johnson gets passed by Tanner Love for the 6th spot. Whoa, David Gervais! What a save!
Oh, he's still saving it.
Oh, they're 3 wide! Look out! Larry Reed! And he's going to pick the spot up.
This is short track racing at its finest right here. I mean, look at this.
Man.
Brad Hubbo giving him a shot out of the back bumper.
I don't think he tried to. Gervais. Oh, spinner! Spinner in the back. Andrew Melvin's around, and we caution.
Flag.
Just lost it on his own. He was 4th to last, and now the caution's out.
So breaking the calamity.
He immediately comes
8.
to pit road, and he's going to fall at least 1 lap down here.
I wonder if Andrew Melvin might pull it in as well. That could be something to note as well. Remember, that car was already beat up. It was already missing the grill on the thing. It's going to be in the pits for a while to make sure that car is back in the scrub to go back out there.
Yep. He didn't hit anything, though. Just lost it. Spun the tires around.
And he's parked it. He's just taking it behind the garage. He is done for the night.
How about your leader to pit road?
Oh, whoa, hang on. John Mullins just got Divo and Tyler Smith on the entry and almost got run over.
Whoa! I don't think Smith expected Mullins to pit. That could have been big.
That almost was big. I don't know if we want to take another look at that one anyway, because holy cow. I mean, I've seen some close calls on pit entry before. I mean, I'm talking 4 tires sliding, but I don't often see that sort of thing, especially at a pit entry that's this narrow.
Yeah, that could have been big. But everybody was able to make it work. As we're about 5 laps away. No, 15 laps away from halfway.
Melvin has re-entered the session, whether that be as a spectator or to get that car back out.
Might be as a spectator.
Yep. Well, that's the thing. If it is a spectator, you wouldn't be a spectator like one of us, because, I mean, once you register as a driver, you can't back out and come back in as a spectator. You have to stay as a driver.
Yep.
That was something. That was one heck of a show that they put on there on that short green flag run there. I mean, like I said, that's short track racing at its best, when it's bumping and banging. Everybody's being just borderline from polite to rude. That is how I like it, though. That was some fantastic racing we saw there.
Mm-hmm.
Out once again on the official iRacing Ford Mustang pace car. Going to no doubt take it down a pit road, leading a couple more laps. Question is, has it been more than Boyd Hogan?
Field comes around through 3 and 4. Green flag back in the air. Let's see how far we go. Make it through turn 2 pretty well. Now they ahead to turn 3. And everybody is gonna make it work. At least for the time being. Whoa, Tyler Smith. Where are you going? Sends it up the bottom, and he's gonna get by Mike Eames and maybe more off of 2.
Side by side with Brian Hubble now down in the turn number 3. Might go 3 wide, or they will go 3 wide. For a split second, they see so Keith is run wide in the corner. So Smith picks up 4 spots in 1 lap.
He's on, I believe he just pitted. Yep, he's on fresh tires, and he's putting them to work right now. The problem is he's only got 1 more set left on pit road. They only have 4 total sets. They start with 1, and then they've got 3 in the pits at the start of the race. So he's going to have to go pretty far on those tires. Let's take a look at the battle for 5th. Mark Love just passed James Mullins.
Still trying to see if he can. So Mark Love's going to be seeing if he can maybe try to run down the 4th place driver, Tanner Love, who is still close to the back end of Curtis Sawyer as well.
Clifton Cockrell, he's got Tyler Smith sending up the bottom. He's going to gain that spot. Now he's going to look at the back bumper of David Gervais and say, I want your spot too.
Gervais, oh, look at this. Hubble diving bombing him on the inside. Hubble is trying to get him back. Oh my goodness me. Did Smith make it through that?
No, he did not. He got a little bit of damage. It's a parking lot on the front stretch. Grossi, Gervais, caution, big wreck. It all started with the 13. Actually, it just started with the 5 up on the high side. Just got loose on corner exit, came down into the 7. The 13, nowhere to go. The 22 got a piece of it. The 16, Clifton Cockrell. The 3 of Mike Eames. Kenny Powell got a piece of it as well. So the big one on the front stretch at Martinsville brings out, I think, caution number 10.
Cecil Keith in the 33 car made it through clean, but had to bring that car to a dead stop. He was like the only driver to make it through that mess completely clean. So we should take a ride on board at 33 if we can, because he was so lucky. He had inches. We're talking inches of space. And in fact, on the replay on the TV cameras, you just saw him, that car way up on the outside line by the wall. Oh my goodness me. That's that was a mess. That was a messy one. There was only really like 5 cars involved, but on Martinsville, 3 certainly equals a big one, because it only takes 1 to block a track.
Like I was gonna say, like I said, parking lot.
Yep, such is the way of Martinsville, it would appear.
Yep.
The world's fastest and in often ways most painful paperclip strikes again. And now the weather. Speaking of the weather, it's 75 degrees on the track right now, so it's still relatively cool.
Yeah.
Considering it is 3:15 in the afternoon. Well, we're talking about this is a Virginia October, so
Yep. But if it were realistic, it'd be raining right now and only be about 40 degrees.
we need rain on iRacing. I've said this for months now. We need the rain so I can host a wet race at Talladega in the Lotus 49. I want it.
What we need is we need automatic realistic weather. So if you do a hosted session, or if you do a race at Martinsville, it is connected through an AccuWeather, Weather Channel, pick your poison. Takes the weather that is going on at the start of your session, put that in, and then adjust accordingly as the day goes on. So if it's supposed to be a high of, if it's supposed to be, a race that starts at 9:30, like this is, at 8 o'clock we start, or 8:30 we open practice. Maybe it's 55 degrees and the sun's out, and then by the time it's race time, it's 45 degrees and snowing. Who knows? Maybe not snowing in 45-degree weather, but still, nonetheless, I think it should be something that should at least be considered.
So what you're saying is you want them to do what R Factor 2 does, because R Factor 2 actually does have that. You can actually have the real weather going on at the track at the time, and the real time of day as well, as a matter of fact. So you could get a completely simulated race with what it's like live at the track. I would love to see that too in here.
And you know, it's not difficult. I played Madden 08 on the Wii, and that was a feature where you could play, Madden at a stadium with the actual weather conditions that are going on at the stadium. So if you want to play in Tampa and it's 80 degrees and raining with 9-mile-an-hour winds, you're playing in Tampa when it's raining and 9-mile-an-hour winds while it's 80 degrees or whatever. Here comes the field coming around to 3 and 4. Sorry on the tangent there. 1 lap away from halfway. Here we go. Green flag. Oh, by the way, Boyd Hogan's leading. I don't know if we talked about that. Tyler Smith.
Whoa!
Ends it, and Tyler Pluff got sent to the moon. They're still 3 wide off of 2. Tyler Smith is pissing off everybody here.
All I gotta say is, well, oh boy, here we go. I honestly thought they were gonna squeeze Powell in there and wreck, but thankfully they didn't.
Yeah, they certainly tried. Here they come off turn 2. Tyler Smith gets by Brian Johnson. Ooh, I think the 64 of John Mullins may have moved the 68 of Mike Knight up and out of the way. It was certainly close to contact, but he was able to get that spot rather cleanly as Knight goes a little wide there in turn 2 as well. Meanwhile, Curtis Sawyer, who brought out the caution a while ago, he's up into the 2nd spot. Tanner Love just made the pass for 3rd. On Justin Levine. Mark Love is there as well as James Mullins.
And Love picking off Sawyer now going up into the 2nd position, but meanwhile Boyd Hogan continuing to run away about a 10th a lap faster than the entire field behind him.
Yeah, they are going right now.
We've settled out throughout the grid. Well, for the most part, about as much as they can settle down on a restart at Martinsville.
That's true. We are officially past the halfway point. It only took us an hour.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So we might get this race finished by midnight. As long as we keep up the caution ratio and only have 10 more cautions and hit our quota of 20. As here goes Christopher Hill. He gets by Kenny Powell. That's for the 13th spot.
Double up front trying to get around John Mullins. Just trying to pull a move into turn 3, excuse me. But Mullins is able to cover him off nicely on the inside.
Double, of course, was the start of the cause of the first caution, or was involved in the first caution. And he's rebounded nicely, knocking on the door of a top 10 finish.
He is, but not if Brian Hubbell's anything to say about it, because here he goes up the inside. He's going to make that stick just. John Mullins being very respectful, giving him the room he needs to make that pass work. Brian Hubbell's going to say thank you very much and move on with his life as he gets up into the 10th position. Christopher Hill just completed the pass as well on Brian Johnson.
Here goes Tyler Smith underneath Mark Love. This is for 7th. He's got more cars up in front of him, so he's not done yet. He's on fresher tires than everybody in front of him and most of the folks behind him. So he's able to slice his way through.
Should note that Brian Hubbell in the 9th position, he's the one on the freshest tires of the... Oh! Mike Knight into the inside wall, front straightaway. Lost back end, up the floor. No caution, though, as he kept it straight.
Yeah, just lost it. He actually caught the front stretch wall with the left front of the car and was able to keep it rolling. So he loses some time, but that's it. And we keep it green as the 10 goes way up the hill, hits the wall, and the 19's able to go by. So Curtis Sawyer forgets where the racetrack is, flies right by.
Got loose into turn 1, back end snapped a little bit on him, had to cut it back and ran wide. Unfortunately, was not able to back it down enough before hitting the outside wall, so that is going to bump him outside of podium contention for now, as Levine is going to say thank you very much, but that very torn up front end. It's notable that Levine is back up in the front already, considering how damaged that machine is.
And him and Mullins have the oldest tires right now up in the top 10. Mullins has been on those tires for 92 laps, and Levine's been on them for 63 laps.
Battle's starting to spread out across the track as Wayne Grossi takes it to pit road in the number 7.
Grossi's car already beat up from an earlier accident. Looks like he's gonna at least try and work on the car here.
He's going to lose quite a few laps, though, at this rate.
Yeah, he was already 1 lap down, I think. Now he's at least 2 down, about to be 3 down, and never mind, he just parked it. So Wayne Grossi done for the night. Disappointing finish for him.
Brian Hubble side by side right now with the number 30 machine of Mark Love. Love is trying to pull the outside. Hubble is going to make that move stick on the bottom and clear onto the front straightaway.
Kind of pushed him a little wide there, but he was able to make it work. And now Hubble sets his sight on the 20 of Larry Reed.
Larry Reed is the one that punted Tyler Smith early in the race down off of turn 2 and almost spun him around. Reed is the driver that's right now right behind Tyler Smith as well, so Smith is just hoping this doesn't end up being Act 2, which is often the more tragic.
Hubble to the inside of Reed. Still side by side. And he will pick up the spot.
Mark Love is going to follow Larry Reed this time, not putting up a fight in the slightest. It just lets Love cruise on through.
Battle for 11th, Christopher Hill, John Mullins.
Oh, one side was on the front straightaway. Brian Hubble just lost the car on his own.
And that car is junk. He lost it on his own and head on into the inside wall. He kept his foot in it up till the very end. That car is junk. The Trump train has derailed.
Unfortunate there for Brian Hubble, who head on to the inside wall, floored it, interestingly enough, as he started to spin around. I'm not sure if he was trying to swing the back end of the car around quicker. Whatever the case.
And his tires are only 24 laps old, so it's not like he was on ancient tires, and that's what cost him.
I think he was just pushing a bit too hard, and I think that floored him might have been out of frustration, because if he wanted to keep that car intact, it would have been better for him to just lock it down. He probably wouldn't have even hit the inside wall if he did that, but when the second he floored it, he did himself in with that one.
Pits are open. James Mullins is in. His tires were getting to about 100 laps old. He's on pit road. Christopher Hill is on pit road. Hubble, Cecil Keith, Brian Johnson, Clifton Cockrell. Those are the guys that are on pit road under this caution as we're closing in on just 100 laps to go.
100 and, coming up to 104 to be exact. So it's definitely going to be an interesting final 100 laps, isn't it? You wonder, it is very, very possible we'll be pushed into green-white checker territory here. How desperate
we only get one.
We going to be?
We found out the hard way with it at Kansas. We only get one. So.
Yeah. How desperate do you think they're going to be?
I don't think it'll be that desperate. I don't think we'll get to a point that we'll see one, but only time will tell.
Brian Hubble has taken the car to the paddock.
Ouch. 2 crashes for him is enough, I guess. He's been strong so far tonight. He's just struggled to keep the nose on the car clean.
I hate to say it, but it was pretty easy to keep the nose on the car clean that last time by. All he had to do was just not floor the car when he started spinning around. If he just locked it down, he would have been fine. Like, nothing would have happened. It's just his own error there. I don't know if it was a lack in judgment or a fit of frustration, but whatever it was, that's what really did him in right there.
Hopefully this time by we see 1 lap to green.
Boy, Hogan really sticking it by that pit wall there. I guess trying to push some of the dust he sees down there further down against the pit wall. Lights are out on the pace car.
Thank goodness. So we're going to restart with 101 laps to go. And hopefully it's not 101 cautions from here on out.
What about dogs? Can I have 101 little Dalmatians?
Maybe we can put them up in the grandstands and have them as spectators for tonight. I don't know.
That'd be great. It's motivation. Winner gets to take them home.
Here comes through turns 3 and 4. If it was hot outside, I guess you could call them some hot dogs, huh? All right. Here they come.
Okay, you don't get credit for that one. You don't get credit for that one. That'll get a little exhale out the nose, but nothing more than that.
Oh, my. All right, they made it through turn 2. That's a good start. Here they go to 3 and 4.
And Christopher Hill trying the outside line, gonna go 3 wide, maybe with Eames and Powell trying the outside line 3 wide. Holy cow! What a run from Christopher Hill to pick up 2 for 2 in the same straightaway.
I thought he was going to kill them all. Instead, he comes out superior compared to everybody else. Meanwhile,
He's still going too.
Mullins is still caught in the middle of that, up on the outside line. And he's going to stick it up the middle instead. Can't get it to work.
Kenny Powell really fighting right now as James Mullins is forced to take the high line. Having another go on Mike Eames. He's going to try to make that move around the outside stick, and he is going to make this one work. Remember, James Mullins on the fresh tires by a good 70 laps or so from the front runners.
Make it work as well. He just flew by Eames and see ya, John Mullins.
And John Mullins forced to drop back again. Tyler Pluff losing out a spot to James Mullins as well up the road. Christopher Hill is on the move in the 78 machine. He's now broken himself up into the 6th position now, threatening Tyler Smith for his position at the time. He gives him a shot off of turn 2.
If anything, that hurt Hill because that got him sideways. So he'll have to regroup and try it again. Mullins gets by Mark Love and now sets his sights on it. Larry Reed. As here comes Hill back to the inside of Tyler Smith. Whoa!
Dives down the inside.
That could have been big.
No give or take for either drivers in this case. Drivers are starting to get a little bit desperate, you could say. Hill now all over the back end of Curtis Sawyer. Oh, Sawyer's loose. He's sliding. Sawyer's spinning.
Caution.
Back the outside wall, I believe, with the left front of that machine. Spins it round. Careful, though. Feel having to check it up.
Second time Curtis Sawyer's lost the car, and I believe that's the second time he's done it in turn 2. Just drove it into hot, loose, and he couldn't hang on.
And he did tap the wall with the left front of the machine, just got it spun around the wrong way. He tried to floor it, I guess, to keep it out of the wall and spin it around faster. Didn't quite work out for him, though. Not a lot of damage, though, so I do think he's going to be fine for that. Just a few burnt tires, which he can get cooled down nicely under this caution.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Looking at cars coming to pit road, Tyler Pluff and Eames, Powell, Curtis Sawyer, and that's it. So only 4 or 5 cars coming to pit road this time.
Christopher Hill is going to be starting on the outside line here on this restart, and the only cars in front of him, well, let's count this here. And I have this is as of right now information. Christopher Hill's tires, 12.5 laps old. The other drivers in front of him, you got 73 laps old, 73 laps old, and 83 laps old. How do you think this is going to go down?
Well, I mean, they've been able to make it work so far with the older tires on the restarts. Like I said before, James Mullins was out there on like 100 lap old tires before he came down on the pit road on the last caution. And he was able to make it work, for the most part, pretty well. So I don't think the old tires thing is that big of a deal for the guys up front as it would be at, say, Atlanta or even Texas last week, maybe even Phoenix next week.
thing to watch for is going to be wheel spin. The older the tires, it's a lot more easy to spin. Well, I mean, who am I kidding? It's easy to spin the tires anyway, but it's a lot easier when they're on older tires. As anybody that's raced at a track like even Dover, can tell you. Trying to see if I can figure out the name for the pace car driver. I believe it's Larry, the pace car driver, though. I know it's Billy, the flag man.
And right now, we're just kind of logging laps behind the pace car, which has been the theme here at Martinsville every time. And if we don't have a clean car award by the end of the night, as long as nobody finds a way to hit it, I'm going with giving it to the pace car.
Well, it looks like Boyd Hogan's got a pretty clean car to me up front. One of the only clean cars in the grid right now.
Give it time.
James Mullins is looking clean as well, but we've seen how aggressive he's been all race. Brian Johnson as well is in the kind of the same boat.
We'll have 89 laps to go here on the restart.
Tyler Pluff isn't looking too bad either, but I'm pretty sure he's at his own spins today.
Not sure. Here we go.
We've lost track.
Boyd Hogan leads us down to the restart. Took a while there, but here we go.
And less than 100 laps to go as of right now. What can Christopher Hill make on this restart? He's right now side by side with Tyler Smith, speak of the devil, in that 22 machine. Now, I believe Hill's going to have to try to fight the outside line to get that. Oh!
Who was that around? David Gervais.
Hollifield. It's Hollifield.
Well, David Gervais got turned going into turn number 3 by, I think, Tyler Pluff. And Tyler Pluff got in the back of the 5 of David Gervais going into turn 3. That's what got him around. And unfortunately for Hollifield, nowhere to go. They all stacked up behind John Mullins. But in the end, it's the 5 of David Gervais that gets turned and brings out yet another caution.
Now Tyler Pluff doesn't have a clean car.
Mm-hmm.
And now we know he's been involved in an incident, at least one.
Yep. And David Gervais, I think, is in his 3rd or 4th. 22, Tyler Smith, he's on pit road. As well as Powell, Colabali, and Hollifield. Everybody else staying out.
Predicting there'll be about 85, 84 laps to go when we go back green, around lap 164 of 250 right now. Cautions have definitely reached the double digits by now as well. Recap the top 5 for you here. Boyd Hogan is your race leader still. He's led a good portion of the race so far. Got yourself Justin Levine down in the 2nd position. Tanner Love still sitting in 3rd. He hasn't been able to quite make his way to the front. Christopher Hill ended up not going anywhere. He's stuck in 4th. James Mullins has managed to crack into the top 5. He's up 12 from where he started today. And as of right now, he's the biggest gainer as well.
Just kind of hanging around here, Martinsville, waiting for us to get back green.
Good old Virginia.
Yep.
Are there any country roads that will take you home around here?
No.
Oh.
I don't think so.
Well, I guess that's gonna hit that real quick for it.
That's the wrong Virginia, my friend.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. So this is actually close to Tennessee, relatively speaking.
Oh, I'm not American. I have no idea where the heck your states are located. All I know is this is somewhere on the East Coast.
Okay. Do you know where Pennsylvania is?
No.
All
I
right.
know where Florida is, California, Washington, and Texas, and that's about it.
Washington, the state, or Washington, the capital of America?
I would hope it would be the state because that's the state I'm bordered with right now. I don't even know where the city is.
Got it. You're on the opposite side of the. All
Yeah.
right. Let's get back to the race. Green flag. We'll do maps next week when we're in Phoenix.
Geography studies later.
Here we go. Turn 2.
Still clean as well. Good start for Boyd Hogan, who's well clear of the field. Christopher Hill trying to pick up third from Tanner Love. Love stuffing it into turn 3, trying to find a move around, and it looks like Christopher Hill picks up the final podium
Kenny
position.
Powell's around. Kenny Powell's around.
Oh, yeah.
Out. Kenny Powell took in all of turn 3 and 4 to wreck. He got run over by Tyler Smith heading into turn number 3. Almost saved it, got up on the curbs, and then eventually went around. Smith just punted him. He did a great job of almost saving it, came back up, and then Smith was parked up against the inside wall with Hollyfield and Powell at the bottom of turn 3 and 4. So Kenny Powell falls victim to a dump by the 22 car, and we're back under caution. We made it 2 laps.
I think this is at this point the pattern that we were thinking was going to be taking place earlier in this race with the whole cautious precautions and going green, going back yellow again. It started to take place a bit further in the race than we thought of. Oh, one other thing that I know where a state is. I know where Arizona is.
Which is where we're headed next week. Got it.
Yes. That's right next to California. I know that much. If anybody's just tuning in now, you've probably realized it is getting more and more awkwardly silent under these yellow flag periods.
We've run out of material to talk about because
Apparently,
we expect 25 cautions, but
there's a bit of
James
amusing going
Mullins has parked it.
on. Wait, what?
I had my scoring thing away. James Mullins parked the car 3 laps ago.
I don't know what.
James
I'm gonna
Mullins
look back to that yellow flag right now and see
Right.
what. He just pulled into the pits and parked. He didn't even go to his pits at all.
I think he got tired of the yellows. I'll be honest.
Wow.
Yeah, he came onto pit road as the caution came out, pulled into a box, and left. He's done.
Should know he pulled it to a box, not his box.
Yeah, James Mullins just parked it because these guys can't make it more than 2 laps.
Wow. That might hurt him in the championship because I'm pretty sure isn't he one of the guys that's actually didn't he just get a big jump from the last race because the top 2 contenders weren't present? He did. He's the driver that leapfrogged into second place the last race, remember?
No, I don't. I really don't.
Really?
So much crap has happened since last Thursday and this Thursday. I don't know if I'll remember what my name is by the time next Thursday rolls around at Phoenix. So I got nothing.
Right. Well, if you remember, Jaden Profit and Boyd Hogan were both not present at last week's race. And James Mullins.
Again.
Sorry?
Profit's not here again.
Yeah, and James Mullins was. So he leapfrogged Profit up into the second position. Going into this race, he was sitting about 30 some odd points off of the race leaders. This is going to kill him in the point standings here.
Yup. Especially when you got Boyd Hogan leading the darn thing.
And Tyler Pluff, who's now going to be ahead of him, and he's just a couple points behind him in the standings as well in third.
All right, green flag.
Wow.
Oh, my. And we're not even 75 laps away from the checkered flag. It feels like an hour has passed over the
turn 2! One car getting run around its wrecking. And that was because the 30 car Mark Love pulled up to the inside, tried to let the field through.
Guys, 4 wide at a short track.
Jeez.
I mean, cue the circus music. And we thought we weren't going to hit 20 cautions. Forget it.
Is it redundant to say cautions, precautions?
I'm not convinced we'll finish this race before midnight. We've got 75 laps to go now. And here comes Hollyfield to get a lap back. Look out, leader.
Oh my God.
On a break. Somebody wake up the spotter on the spotter stand.
Somehow Christopher Hill made up a spot in that mess.
Yup.
And can I get confirmation that you just saw Christopher Hill bump drafting Boyd Hogan? Did we both just see that?
Pretty much, yeah.
I think these drivers are just starting to fool around at this point. I mean, I don't blame them. You gotta do something when you're under caution.
Boyd Hogan's trying to lead a lap away from the pace car. Oh my.
Poor Larry, the pace car driver. All he wants to do is win a race.
Wally is on pit road right now. Oh my. If this race isn't over by 11:30, I might leave before it's over if we're not close.
Hey, it's still 8 p.m. over here. I got plenty of time.
Yeah, it's only 8 o'clock out there for you. It's nice little 11 o'clock over here on the East Coast.
You know what started that whole mess was when Mark Love just pulled out to the side and started trying to let people through, and then
I don't
the
know where
curve
he
and
thought he
came
was
back
going
on.
to go. Because, like, there's no room down there.
He was trying to let the field through. I guess he thought they would give him more room on the edge of the corner, but I mean, where is it going to go? There's no grip on the outside.
Yeah, he tried to let him by and then just turned up the racetrack by the time he got to the corner. And you know, everybody wants the bottom, so he was just in the way right there. And that's when Cecil Keith had to turn dead right to miss him and get into Mike Eames.
I don't even think he turned right to miss him. I think he got hit by him. That was just a clumsy mistake.
It's only have 10 people show up at Phoenix because everybody else is going to get suspended from this race.
Ooh.
Causing accidents.
It's a hot take.
Well, we'll see how right I am.
Up next on Hot Takes with Jacob Hitz.
One lap to green here. Ryan Johnson somehow in the 6th spot. I don't know how. Mostly because he's kept his car clean, so we haven't had to talk about him tonight.
Same with Hogan.
And
Hogan's been way up the track.
Christopher Hill wants as much rubber on his tires as possible, I guess. His tires are 95 laps old. Levine's are 5. Green flag.
Green flag in the air. Christopher Hill trying to go for the lead. And finally, Hill takes the race lead back around the outside of turn 2.
His tires are 60 laps fresher than Boyd Hogan's.
Yes.
Oh, Cecil Keith just got the caution. Cecil Keith just got punted by guess who? The 22 of Tyler Smith. That's at least his second dump of the night. And Kenny Powell barely got by. Back under the caution flag.
Take a ride on board with I hope we get a look on board from Kenny Powell in the mix of all that, because that was incredible driving for the 24 to avoid him. But I mean, this is starting to get a little bit ridiculous at this point in time. We can't even make it a lap anymore.
All right, Boyd Hogan, he's coming to pit road. Larry Reed, he's coming to pit road. Mark Love, he's coming to pit road. Everybody else staying out on the racetrack. Justin Levine's tires are 109 laps old. He's still out there in second place right now. I don't know what he's thinking.
Well, I mean, you don't need to come down and change your tires if you don't get fast enough that their wear shows.
It's true. That is true.
Kenny just reported that he's apparently out of beer on the driver's radio, so he's just fired his bartender.
Man, I miss Al in the booth. He's always our entertainment during disasters like this. You don't have him tonight, so.
Al, there's still a seat open for you if you want it.
Yeah, if you're around, you want to stop by and start making fun of drivers, it's time to do it. Because we're out of material at this point. We can't make it 5 laps under green.
Hey, do I see some rain clouds on the horizon there?
Oh, I hope. Let it pour. Scuba gear to get out of the racetrack. Flood it in. Something. Get us out of here.
Just get a garden hose.
That or somebody set off the sprinkler system.
I just noticed. Is that a football? No, that isn't. That's just a. I thought it was, okay. I realize I'm completely idiotic. I thought it was like Bristol all of a sudden, where there's like an infield football field on the asphalt, but no, that's just a light pole standing in the middle.
Yeah, I don't think Martinsville. I don't think Martinsville's wide enough to have a football field on the infield of it.
If you can fit one at Bristol, you surely can fit one here.
Well, I think there's more stuff in the way in the infield here at Martinsville than there is at Bristol. I'm not sure though.
Oh yeah, well I actually just realized that's true. I'm running with some semi-low gravity centers. All those buildings and fancy stuff are not there for me. Because of the garage on the backstretch here. Yeah. I don't have that though really. So 1 lap to green. Let's see how far we make it. We're only 64 laps away from going home. Only. Justin Levine, Christopher Hill lead us down for the restart. How long will they make it this time? Through turn 4, Christopher Hill waiting on your race lead in the 78 machine. He was the pole sitter. He's finally back to the race lead. He's on the loud pedal. We're off and away. The front few rows
before they even got to start finish. Ron Hollyfield got run into the back up by Mark Love and almost spun it. And if he would have, I think I would have left.
We completed the first lap clean, so very, very good sign on this restart here. He did make it a lap. Tyler Smith trying to go on the underside of Curtis Sawyer off of turn 2 onto the back straightaway. You know, Tyler Smith does not have a front clip on his machine. Boyd Hogan trying to find his way around. He's right now pinned in.
And he's still been moving people out of the way. Chris Johnson goes up the hill. 3-1. Hello. That could have been close. Oh my gosh. Kenny Powell just put the block on Larry Reed, and he still went down there and passed him.
Reed was not having that one at all. Hogan, meanwhile, up the inside of Tyler Smith, scares him out of line. Boyd Hogan, you know, is on one of the freshest tires on the racetrack right now, too.
Yep. And he is flying.
Let's wait till he gets to Justin Levine and his 117-lap-old tires.
And Tanner Love's up there with 107-lap-old tires.
I want to point out to the viewers at home that can't realize how long that actually is. Justin Levine has run almost the entire half a race without pitting. Or without taking tires, at least.
He hasn't had to, because the fuel mileage is so long, and we've done at least half of this stint under caution. So, of course, he doesn't need to pit. Battle for second between Levine and Tanner Love. It's eaten up on the front stretch.
And finally, Levine is forced to yield as Love goes down the inside.
So he gets by, takes the second spot.
Boyd Hogan just picked off David Gervais down the back straightaway, so Hogan is continuing his rampage up to the order.
David Gervais almost got dumped by Larry Reed. That was close. He'll survive another lap, and he'll continue to fall through the field.
Gervais is getting
2
swamped.
more spots on it.
Mark Love is no doubt going to try to follow Tyler Smith here. Getting close to the back end, though.
Oh, Gervais almost spun it on corner exit, so he'll lose that spot, and that'll allow John Mullins to close in.
Boyd Hogan's now all over the back of Tyler Pluff in that number 21 car, the 6th position. Hogan's trying to find some way through. Oh, Hogan stepped back in there a little bit on the exit.
Gets it rolling again. Still trying to get by these 3 cars. Cockrell, Brian Johnson, Tyler Pluff. He gets by Pluff. Maybe. Yes.
Does so cleanly, trying to go on Brian Johnson now. Johnson lifts off it earlier, lets him go.
I don't blame him. He tries to race pretty smart. Just saw the 10 bounce off the wall behind him.
Ow.
Where is Larry Reed going?
Larry Reed's
smaller. Jeez. Sent it in.
Tyler Pluff, and now with the inside of Brian Johnson as well.
But he's now into 6th. Next time by, as Christopher Hill comes off turn 2, we'll be 50 laps away from the light at the end of the tunnel. We're almost there. 50 laps to go, and the leader almost killed it off turn 4. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Christopher Hill almost spun the car out. He came up on the 17 to James Caldwell. Hit the gas on corner exit, and the car fishtailed. I thought he was going to hit the inside wall head on. I really did.
And meanwhile, Boyd Hogan's still on a push. He just dived down the inside of Justin Levine, so Hogan is up into a podium position now. Hogan's running 19.448s right now. And then you got your race leader running 19.9. So he's about half a second lap faster than your overall race leader right now. So this could get close.
But even then, Christopher Hill is still 5 seconds in front of Boyd Hogan. So
half a second faster per lap. There we go. He can do it.
Really wide. Forgot where the racing line is. He came back to earth though off a turn 4. There goes Brian Johnson underneath Clifton Cockrell. Here comes Mike Knight. Tyler Pluff, Mark Love got loose, almost got the wall.
Tyler Smith trying to have a go at Clifton Cockrell now off of turn 4. He's going to get that spot done. Tyler Smith still missing the front clip on his machine. He's diving down the inside now, and he's going to pick up the 9th position.
Here comes Mark Love looking for 10th. He's got it. This is the longest green flag run. It feels like it had in laps.
It is the longest green flag run.
I'm sure I just jinxed that, but I really don't care anymore.
Love still trying to do bad now with Tyler Smith. Oh, right to the back end. Tiniest nudges off of 2.
Woo! He almost did it again.
He's trying to dump him.
Yeah, well, he needs to try better at acting like he doesn't want to dump him.
I don't know about that. He just about left reared him again in turns 1 and 2 there.
He knows he's faster. He just can't get by without killing him. There's a shot.
It's only a matter of time before Love really pulls something crazy out of his pocket.
Yeah, so somebody go get Matt Kent to join the car. Go get Mark Love.
Pushed a bit too hard himself.
He chopped the nose of the 10. Battle for second. Boyd Hogan's got Tanner Love. Now he's just got to make up 4 seconds on the leader, Christopher Hill. If a caution were to come, that would be something.
And he is still almost half a second faster a lap than Christopher Hill, so he can definitely run him down. If it's about 4-second gap, he'll be up there in just about like 10 laps or so, give or take.
Yep. But if we see a caution, I'd imagine that Hill would think about pitting.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, if he still has a set. I don't think he does. He's pitted 4 times so far. So I think he may have used up all of his sets here. Boyd Hogan still has one in the bank. He's only pitted twice. Tanner Love's only pitted once. So he's definitely got a set left. He's got 2.
Mark Love has caught Tyler Smith once again down in the turn number 1. Oh, Smith gets a little bit loose. Mark Love is all over him. Smith trying to go defensive on him.
Great run off the corner there for Smith to hang on to the spot. Whoa.
There's a shot. He's going to dump him. I'm calling it right now. He is going to dump him here sooner or later.
Inside, hits him again. Knock, knock, knock. I'm coming in whether you like it or not.
Mark Love trying to huff, trying to puff.
He's
trying to blow that door
down here. He almost spins it again.
You can hear the contacts that he's giving him. You can hear he's shoving his bumper every single lap. There it is again. And that time he almost dumped Smith. Smith's got to yield, surely.
If Mark Love can get by Tyler Smith without wrecking him, there he goes. I'd expect payback here.
The bump and run.
One. Tyler Smith's already dumped 2 people tonight. He might dump a third. And Mark Love's going to spin himself. Mark Love saved it. And Tyler Smith's going to get the spot. That's absolute karma.
That instant karma right there on iRacing. That was all on his own. Mark Love just lost that. Oh, he almost loses it again.
Somebody send that in to the iRacing top 10 because that deserves it. He's going to do it again here in turn 1.
Mark Love is not taking this line down. He is not going to yield at all and going to
Tough it in the corner. It's the curve. And that opened the door for the 10. Curtis Sawyer trying to stick it in up the inside. Smith says no.
Ran it a little bit wide.
Tyler Smith didn't get killed. I'm surprised.
You and me both.
He's not going to be happy with Mark Love, but just an update on the leaders. Boyd Hogan is 2 seconds back from Christopher Hill. We'll keep our eyes back here on Smith for now, though, because it's the closest battle on the racetrack.
It is not a proper Martinsville race until you see a bump and run, and that was a perfectly executed bump and run from Mark Love on Tyler Smith until he then ran wide and slid in turn 1 and 2.
Yep. The next corner, he biffed it.
I've gotten confirmation, by the way. The pace car driver's name is Peter. Not really relevant, but that we can call him Peter the pace car driver when he comes back out of the racetrack.
So Peter and Barney getting a lot of workouts here tonight as Curtis Sawyer trying to reciprocate the bump and run that Mark Love gave to Tyler Smith. He tried to do it himself, and instead he lost about a 10.
Yeah, the key of a bump and run is to unsettle your opponent, not yourself. He did the exact opposite of what he was trying to do. You could call that a reverse bump and run in Tyler Smith's case.
Yeah.
Just over here holding the Uno reverse card in his hand, probably pinned to his dashboard.
I think this might be the longest green flag run of the day. Just a note, Boyd Hogan and Christopher Hill are running identical lap time. Still about a second and a half back. I think the tires caught up with Boyd Hogan.
Yeah, their tires are about a 40 lap
traffic, which is interesting.
That's the
because you've got Gervais, Cecil Keith, and that's all going to be in the lap of Christopher at the moment. And they're
fighting hard.
Position. Gervais, Cecil Keith, Chris Johnson, Clifton Cockrell back here. This is 14th through 17th. And we've seen a lot of contact from these guys throughout the day, and now the leader has to try and navigate through it. This could be what gives Boyd Hogan the win, if there isn't a caution.
Chris Johnson out the inside of Clifton Cockrell, double file, blocking the track. This is not at all what Will wants to see. Cecil Keith trying to see if he can find his way in the mix as well as 48 Machine dives up and makes the pass quick.
Boyd Hogan's cracked it under a second. He was 0.3 faster that last time by. He'll be there in about 4 laps or so if he can keep this up. The bigger issue is trying to get by that 78. As Clifton Cockrell still falling back. Now he's got Gervais on his inside.
Hill's there.
Hill's got nowhere to go, unfortunately. Gervais too slow on the bottom. He can't get by Cockrell up high. Now he cranks it left and is going to get by Gervais.
Look in the background. That's Boyd Hogan. One car.
He's got to get held up by this lap traffic if Hill wants a shot. We're 27 laps away from the checkers. And Boyd Hogan's able to get through easier than Hill.
So Christopher Hill, he still has
of second place. Gervais held up Hogan this time, but now Cecil Keith is just going to go high, and Hill's going to send it in up the inside and get away. That helps him, all things considered.
Because one to go.
Hogan, it took Hogan a lap to get by the 5 of David Gervais, and that cost him about 2/10. And now here comes Hogan sticking it up the bottom. He's probably using his time, sending it in that deep. Now Hill has a little bit of breathing room. The next car in front of him is John Mullins in the 64. That's 13th spot. So this race isn't over yet. Boyd Hogan looking for his 4th win.
Will it be Hill to reach Mullins first, or will it be Hogan? That's going to be the big question here.
Yep. Well, looks like Mullins is pulling off. He's going to come to pit road, so Mullins won't be a factor. Next car will be Tyler Smith. Oh, boy. and Mike Keane. But they're far up off the road. They're on turn 1 as Hill's at start-finish. So they've got a little bit of time.
Whoa, 5 car! Well, look out!
Gervais at the wall. Russian. Where was Gervais going?
He hit the outside wall and
he just lost it.
Braking.
He just lost it under braking and drove it into the outside wall. That just killed Christopher Hill.
Again, we need to get a look on more with Cliff Crawford because he just barely nicked him as he came back up the track.
That just ended Christopher Hill's race. He's not winning this. There's no way that Boyd Hogan is able to win unless Boyd Hogan comes down and pits here.
Here we go.
Pitting. Hill has tires. Hill has a set of tires. I didn't think he did. Top 4 pit. Larry Reed stays out.
Oh my.
Larry Reed is your race leader. He is the only man in town that stays out. Tyler Smith stays out. Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. This is... I take it back what I said about green-white checkers. We're going to see one now.
Oh, yeah. I'm a bit concerned with who's leading the race, to be honest.
So right now, Larry Reed, Tyler Smith stayed out. Everybody else has pitted, and the 78 wins the race off pit road. So Christopher Hill's going to be third. And he had a set of tires. He pitted 4 times tonight. But he had a set of tires.
One of those tires must have been fuel only then.
I guess, yeah. My goodness. And the 20 is blinking like mad.
You thought it couldn't get any crazier.
Cecil Keith got the free pass. He's on pit road now. Hollyfield and Colabali are on pit road. These are the lap cars that are pitting now. Looks like Chris Johnson and Kenny Powell will get the wave around. David Gervais will not because he's behind the leader, so he's going to have to fall to the back of the pack, I think.
Yeah, that is the case.
But he did bring up... So.
That too. That's why he doesn't get a wave around.
We're going to have a restart inside 20 to go. Well, he doesn't get the wave around, plus he was behind the leader because not all the leaders pitted. Powell and Johnson are ahead of the leader, so they'll get the wave around. Otherwise, they would have to fall to the back.
Very close call as David Gervais. It was a close call as David Gervais had cut to the inside. That caused Hill to check up, and Hogan in turn had to jump to the outside. Gervais running over Hill for caution.
I think we'll get 1 lap to green this time by. And
we did falling back, so that happens with 2 to go.
My goodness, this is going to be an adventure. So we're at the line now. We'll have a restart with 16 laps to go.
17. No, you're right. It is 16. My
Yeah.
didn't update.
I was gonna say I thought it had this. By the way, the pit open lights are working now. We had the issue earlier where they were red. Now they're green. I don't think we're celebrating Christmas that early here in Martinsville, but you never know. Pace car's in, folks. Godspeed. Green flag.
There we go.
Oh my God, they're wrecking. Larry Reed just spun it. Caution immediately. Christopher Hill is going to take the lead. Christopher Hill got ahead of Tyler Smith. Christopher Hill is your race leader. And Larry Reed, oh my God. Worn tires. He's immediately on pit road. In fact, he just towed it. He retired. Larry Reed just went home. He just took the shame and just misfortune he's placed on his family and has gone home.
Fields have to stop here because the pace car is in turn 4 still. They have to let it through before the start-finish line, or they're all going to get black flag for passing it under the yellow.
There it goes. Christopher Hill is your race leader. Tyler Smith second. Tanner Love should be third, I think. No. Tyler Smith stayed in the lead. Christopher Hill has to fall to second. I thought he beat him at the line. Or
No, not quite.
Tyler says no. So we get the invisible number car out in front once again.
Let's be honest. We kind of saw that coming a mile away.
I mean, we had 20 other restarts, and the leader didn't step on his own whatever until this one.
But the leader wasn't Larry Reed.
That's true. I believe he's a newcomer, and he might be a new goer after tonight, unfortunately. Just, ugh.
Cautions, big cautions. I mean, did that caution ever really end, though?
Yes. The green flag was out for all 3 seconds.
It didn't even make. I was gonna pull that line, and they didn't even make it 50 feet. They didn't even make it within 50 feet of the start-finish line.
They weren't even close. The leader never crossed. The leader never made the wall.
The yellow came just after.
This is going to put Christopher Hill on the front row. Boyd Hogan's going to be on the bottom. Do I dare think of 2012 sending it 3 wide up the inside going into turn 1 and killing everybody?
I can see it happening.
Especially with Boyd Hogan?
I can see it happening.
I would expect it to happen. I'd be surprised if it doesn't.
Potentially, it'll be either 10 or 9 laps to go, I believe, when we go green again.
I think we'll get 2. I think we'll get 1 to green here. We'll have 11. I think. I'll wait for confirmation, aka when the lights go out of the pace car. But and indeed, lights go out. So we're going to restart with 11 laps to. Hold your breath, folks. Let's see if we can make it to the start-finish line this. Tyler Smith, Christopher Hill on the front row. Christopher Hill looking for the jump. Had to wait a mile back. Here comes Hogan up the bottom, and Christopher Hill's going to run. That's going to bring Tanner Love with him. Look at Tyler Smith blocking down to the wall. Boyd Hogan's going to lose 3 spots, maybe more. The boats are going to get good news. Crash the 19 around. He's going to hook the 22 back. They stake. Oh, they threw the.
How did they save that? I beg your
What
pardon.
is that crap?
That defies all known laws of physics right
What
there. You
is
do not
that?
save that. That is a that's what we call a dirty save right there. That is on iRacing's top 10 highlights. You
How
don't
is that a
save
caution?
that too, yeah.
So now we got to restart inside 10 to go. And Christopher Hill is Tyler Smith is still third, by the way. And he's still not pitting.
See, I'm still watching this back over and over. How do you save that? You can't save that.
How do you throw a caution for that? That's what I'm more frustrated with.
Well, he was about 90 degrees perpendicular to the tracks. That's what
That's it.
Wow. Hollifield gets the lucky dog free pass. We're less than 10 to go. A green white checkered is inevitable.
Holy crap! My internet stroke to wow. All right.
It's still sort of having a stroke.
Well, I knew it was having a stroke when you turned to a robot and the entire field blinking in and out like mad. Now I think we're okay.
Sort of. It's like it's 50-50 for you being a robot.
Oh yeah, my Q bar is in red. Cool. All right. Hopefully that goes down and it doesn't kick me from the server. Otherwise, we're gonna have a.
Hey, I could just share my screen with you if that's the case.
That's true. Although it's getting back to normal now. You're less robotic and it's turning yellow.
Yeah,
Catching up.
that's about right.
Hopefully the internet never does that again ever. Please be 1 to green. Please be 1 to green. Please be 1 to green. Darn it.
I'm still disgusted by that save, mainly for the fact that I know I will never be able to do that myself, and I'm completely jealous.
Well, he had help
True, true.
because of bouncing off the 22 there.
It appears there have been some slight other issues with Jacob Pitts, as his microphone has gone robotic and seems to have cut altogether. Lights are out this time by on the pace car. We'll see if Jacob is able to rejoin us for the final, hopefully, 5 laps of the race. It would appear not.
I'm here. I just have my mic muted because I don't know how. I mean, take it away.
Green flag off and away, and it is a big lead for Christopher Hill. The field stacking up. Crazy behind them. One car spinning. Big Tyler Smith getting dumped. That's in the center of the field. Can everyone miss him? They do.
Nope,
Mike Eames
car.
spins just up the road.
Yeah, Mike Eames just spun around on his own, coming off of 2. And this is going to set up a green-white checkered here.
That it will. 2 laps remaining under green now.
Yeah, I think we're going to go 1 over. And this is our only green-white checker. So if they wreck, they wreck.
You called it. The green-white checker was looking more and more, inevitable. I called it by saying it was going to be inevitable when we went green with 5 to go. And we have officially lost Jacob Pitts, it would seem. So green-white checker to end off this race at Martinsville Speedway, Martinsville, Virginia. James Colabella getting the lucky dog free pass, just trying to weave his way around on that outside line. The scheduled distance was 250 laps. It's going to be about 252 laps. Tanner Love is holding up. James Colabella, your lucky dog driver. It's official. We are now in green-white checker territory. Goodness me. Recap the players for this restart. Christopher Hill in the race lead. Tanner Love second. Boyd Hogan third. Justin Levine fourth. Mark Love fifth. Those are realistically the drivers that could still get a win here. As we are coming around with 1 lap to green this time by, I believe.
So my internet is done doing the Irish jig, knock on wood. It kicked me in and out of the broadcast booth about 6 times. Q bars are back to normal now. Holy crap.
It couldn't keep up with the insanity.
I guess the internet just couldn't keep up. I think we'll get 1 to green this time by. So that last caution, I don't know what happened to Tyler Smith. I just saw him spin. I guess he got help, and then the 3 of my teams just spun up on the high side.
He was completely run over from behind by Mark Love.
Got it. Maybe that's karma. Remember the battling of the 30 and the 22?
Yeah, that's what was coming to my mind.
Yep. All right, pace car crosses the stripe. 1 lap to green.
He was just spun in the zone coming off the corner.
Yeah, I watched him up on the high side. He almost had it missed, and I guess he just put the throttle down and looped it around on his own. So,
to be fair, the whole field did miss Tyler Smith. He was just spun after the fact.
Yep. All right, so for those of you watching at home, you may want to grab the stiffest drink you can find, and you're going to want to drink it in its entirety, however much is in the bottle, glass, or whatever's near you here. This is going to be a cluster. Christopher Hill's going to lead him around. We'll see if he's still up in the top 5 to the white flag. Green flag, no cautions from here.
Down in the turn number 1. Who is going to be the first spinner around? So far, it looks like we are clean through turns 1 and 2 on the restart. Coming around for 3 and 4. Heads up behind. Curtis Sawyer driving the inside on Mark Love. He goes through to the top 5.
Mark Love cuts it
spinning.
2 cars around. 48 around. Cautions out, race is over.
Yellow flag.
Christopher Hill's the winner in his first career in ISCA start. Christopher Hill in his first start has won it. So, on that last lap, the 14 of Tanner Love went around. The 48 of Chris Johnson went around. Checkered flag. Christopher Hill is officially a winner at Martinsville. He survives the chaos. Oh, my goodness. Let's get out of here.
They were so close to making it too. We're talking that yellow flag came out the second he had to start. Hang on. That yellow flag came out after the leader crossed our finish line. This race should have ended under green. They're still racing, actually. I don't know what the heck is happening anymore.
Let's see. Let's see if I can find eyes on a caution light here.
The pace car was out, and they did cross the line on lap 253. But then they just all passed and did an extra lap on the racetrack.
Okay, so the pace car stopped at the end of pit road. Lights came on. Where was the leader past start finish?
It was
by a full car length. By a full car length, he was past start finish. Doesn't matter. Let's talk to some people before I go find a bridge to jump off of after this race. I'm never coming back to Martinsville ever again as long as I live. Let's get this over with. Justin Levine is here. He finished 3rd. Let's talk to anybody. Levine, Hogan, whatever we got. Let's talk to him.
Oh.
Let's talk to 3rd place. Justin Levine. Your car was beat to hell. Take us through the lot of caution laps that you had tonight.
Man, I don't know where to begin. Like, from driving it into, I think it was turn 3, and just snapping it and going head on into the wall and thought my race is over. We were overheating, clutching it into the corners, running like, I don't know, 20th, give or take. I thought the race was done. We fixed it up, took tape off it, and I think I was down like 20 horsepower, or RPMs, I mean. And so we just kept digging, kept trying to fight, avoid the wrecks, and somehow Boyd didn't yeet me out of the way.
Nolan, do you got anything here?
Well, I mean, we were talking about how today's race was certainly an adventure. Another adventure coming up is going to be next week's race over at Phoenix. What do you reckon that one's going to be like?
I hope a lot cleaner than this. Oh my god. I think it's gonna definitely be a good hard battle again against teammates with Boyd and Chris, definitely, and of course Sawyer and Tanner.
All right, well, there you have it. Third place finisher, Justin Levine. Thanks for talking to us. And hopefully you don't need too much therapy after tonight's race. We'll see you next week at Phoenix.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Second place, Boyd Hogan. What's up? Same thing. How the hell did you finish?
It was stressful. That was no, it was a lot of fun. I wish we would have stayed green there when we had the caution with 20 to go. But after that, you're just kind of along for the ride, and whatever happens, happens. Hope that your line gets the jumps on the restarts and everything kind of works out for you.
I guess,
Again, Nolan? Yep.
Well, I mean, let's put it this way. You started 7th, you got to 2nd. This is definitely going to help you to continue to move your way up into the championship standings. It's looking more and more, Hogan, like you're going to be locking yourselves out another championship here in the series. Do you reckon that's still going to be a possibility in the tracks we got coming up?
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at the schedule ahead, I think we got Phoenix and Homestead, and I think we also got the Fairgrounds coming up. So, you know, I mean, for the most part, those are all wheelhouse tracks for us at Legacy. It's kind of the short track program has been pretty OP all year long. So, we'll definitely be looking to see if we can lock one up here at the end of the season.
And there you have it. Second place finish for Boyd Hogan. Trying to get that 4th win of the season. We'll see what you can do next week at Phoenix. Best of luck to you then.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Now let's talk to the winner in his first ISCA start, Christopher Hill. Holy crap. That's, I know a win might be how you wanted your first race to go. Maybe not all the caution laps. Take us through it.
Yeah, it was a hassle just to kind of decide which tire cycle you wanted to be on because traffic was dreadful in the nicest way to put it. But the boys over at Legacy put together a good car. I mean, first start, but I mean, in that kind of equipment, it's kind of good. It's hard not to run up front.
Well, I guess we were just talking about you throughout really the entire race. It was your very first start in the season, and I mean, what a way to start a career off as well with the Irish and Stock Car Association. I think it's safe to say this is a very strong start for you. Do you intend on visiting us again in Victory Lane at the coming tracks throughout the rest of the season?
I think we'll have good cars for the rest of the year. I think we'll just put in work every week, and we should be able to have some good finishes and contend for the win.
Well, congratulations on the win here at Martinsville. And one last thing before we send you off here. Anybody you want to thank out there for anything here? Floor's yours.
Thank you all for putting on the broadcast. Thanks to Kenny for running the league, and shout out to the boys at Legacy for putting together the car.
All right. Since you won the race, your therapy after tonight's mess is on the house, and we'll see you next week at Phoenix.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Nolan. Final thoughts here.
Well, it's certainly an adventure. Definitely was not quite as clean as we were hoping for. I really wish that race could have ended under green. If you ask me based on Hill's positioning, it should have ended under green. But you know what? A finish is a finish. Congratulations, of course, to him in his first ever race start and win in the same weekend. Well, looking forward to do it all over again at Phoenix.
Hopefully not all over again. I can't sit through 20-plus cautions next week again, but that's our race for this week here from Martinsville. I hope we consider not coming back here again. That's all for us. We'll see you next week at Michigan at Phoenix. Thanks and good night.